Toi tū te kawa, toi tū te rangatiratanga, toi tū te ao tūroa, toi tū te kai kōkiri, toi tū te iwi. Strengthening Ngāi Tahu cultural excellence through sustainability, innovation and tenacity. Ngāi Tahu is the main iwi of Te Waipounamu, descended from Tahu Pōtiki. The Ngāi Tahu Fund was developed to support Ngāi Tahu whānau and hapu. The main purpose is to strengthen and develop cultural knowledge and leadership. Auntie Jane Davis was the first Ngāi Tahu Fund committee chair.
The Ngāi Tahu Fund, for me, I saw it as an opportunity for the wider tribe to benefit from the claim process and to be able to be involved and move on. You know, we've come through the whole time of grief, and the Ngāi Tahu Fund is actually able to distribute and able to benefit the wider tribe. The Ngāi Tahu Fund has funded the building of marae and wharanui, and that also gives the creative people an opportunity to become involved in that. So there's been wonderful programs for weaving, for carving, just looking at some of the wharanui that has been built, and I'll make an observation of the one on the Taipotini. It's a beautiful example of the creativity of our own people. I can remember we had a hui in Puketeraki, and we had discussion there of how we could put together and come up with ideas of how we could distribute the funds, and I don't think at that time we even knew what we'd be distributing. So I think it was a dream that grew into a plan.
The focus on culture is essential to preserve and protect Ngāi Tahutanga. Not only is this focus on Ngāi Tahutanga important, but the fund is integral to the distribution of resources to tribal members. Tahu Pōtiki saw the establishment of the Ngāi Tahu Fund as a way to support the cultural practitioners of the iwi.
And we also set up the Ngāi Tahu Fund, which was the way for us to support culture development for our leaders in that area. So the specific intent was to get pūtea to those people that provide cultural leadership for the tribe, to our carvers, to our weavers, to our speakers, to our food gatherers. It was about underpinning the core pillars of Ngāi Tahu culture, ensuring that we had the expertise that was culturally persistent and consistent with what our ancestors did, and to carry that into the future.
There are 3 levels of funding. Individual tribal members can apply for up to $5,000, while groups can apply for up to $30,000. Transformative projects qualify for applications above $30,000. Projects need to meet specific cultural objectives, including building cultural knowledge, encouraging cultural practices and leadership. The growth of tribal cultural capacity is essential to protect and preserve the culture for the future. Just over $8.5 million has been distributed through this fund in the first 10 years. In 2012, the Ngāi Tahu Fund adopted the Ngāi Tahu Cultural Strategy as its guiding document and identified 9 key areas as priorities. The 9 pou are whakapapa, tikanga, te reo, mahi toi, whenua, mahinga kai, ngā uara, a kāinga, a hapu, a iwi, mana tangata. In 2015, Ngāi Tahu hosted Te Matatini, and the Ngāi Tahu Fund supported projects for whānau and hapu to prepare, take part and represent Ngāi Tahutanga at the festival. The Ngāi Tahu Funds are the Marae Development Fund, the Ngāi Tahu Fund for Cultural Revitalisation, the Mahinga Kai Enhancement Fund, and the Taurahere Fund for Ngāi Tahu groups who live outside the takiwā. The Ngāi Tahu Fund provides resources to Ngāi Tahu whānau, hapu and Rūnanga to strengthen Ngāi Tahu cultural practices and knowledge.
I think our tūpuna would be happy that we actually have the fund, and it is the people's fund. And I think that's important that we remember that, and that when it is devolved out to them, it is for the people, it's to grow them.
The Ngāi Tahu Fund has become a pathway for whānau to access their cultural birthright. It continues to support whānau and iwi aspirations to hold fast to tradition, to bind together during this period of awakening, and to secure an enduring cultural legacy for future generations. Mō tātou, mō ka uri a muri aki nei.